Mm, Good morning, dear students.
Good morning, sir.
So I welcome all of you to the today's chemistry class on 16th February. Uh, Today we want to study about the process which is known as the ozonalysis. In this process of ozonalysis, what happens generally? We take an alkene. This is what it is, your alkene. This alkene may have various four groups R1, R2, R3 and R4 bonded to it. We allow it to react with the ozone. This ozone is actually the triatomic molecule. This triatomic molecule, which is known as ozone, reacts with this and it gives us the triozonide or ozonide. So we will have, see, this R1 and R2, they are not affected at all. Same way, my dear students, these R3 and R4, they are even not affected at all. Then what happens? The three oxygen atoms, they combine with this two carbon, and this double bond is broken in such a way that these three oxygen atoms, they are involved, they are added to the alkene. So again, my dear students, this particular process, we can say it is an addition reaction. This particular process is known as the addition of ozone to the alkene. This is what it happens, that the ozone is added to the alkene. Now what happens in the next process, my dear students, we allow it to react with zinc and water. So this particular compound, which is known as a triozonide or ozonide compound, this ozonide compound undergoes a cleavage. Let us see what kind of cleavage does it take place. So it undergoes cleavage in this form. This oxygen, this particular oxygen combines with water and gives us H2O2, and then finally we get this kind of compound, R1, R2, C double bond O plus R3, R4, C double bond O. So this is how, my dear students, we get two products here. We get two different products. And both have the carbonyl group. So two carbonyl compound that we get, two carbonyl compounds. That may be an aldehyde or it may be a ketone. So this is the very important reaction known as the ozonolysis reactions. And when it comes to the ozonolysis reactions, we can do it this way. Now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. While studying about the uh, structure of benzene, we have used these ozonolysis reactions and we have proved that both the Kekule structure exists. So do you have any doubt? You can ask, dear students.
No, sir, no doubt.
Good. So now we'll move and study some of the more examples. So let us study the examples of ozonolysis. Let us start with the simplest alkene, that is CH2 double bond CH2. It is known as ethene. When ethene reacts with ozone, it gives ethene triozonide, ethene triozonide, and then on the reaction with zinc and H2O, it produces H bond C bond H double bond O plus O double bond C H and H plus H2O2. These two are nothing but your compounds HCHO. So you get two HCHO as a product. The name of this compound is methanol. So here you get methanol as a final product. Please remember, my dear students. Then let us take the another example, my dear students, that suppose we have CH3CH double bond CH2. We add ozone to it. When we add ozone to it, my dear students, we may have CH3, then C, then H. This is how, my dear students, we get the triozonide. This is what it is, propene. So we will get propene triozonide, or we can even call it just propene ozonide. And then when, my dear students, we allow it to react with Zn plus H2O, it's quite simple that we get CH3C and H double bond O plus O double bond C, and then we have H and H. So finally, my dear students, we'll get two products. One is CH3CHO plus HCHO, and this is what it is known as the ethanol, and this one is known as the methanol. Please remember, my dear student, that this ethanol is also called the acetaldehyde, and methanol is also called the formaldehyde. So this two compound, this methanol is also called the formaldehyde, my dear students. And this is how, my dear student, we can study about the examples of ozonalysis. Dear students, if you have any doubt, you can ask. बच्चों, अगर इसमें कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है तो आप लोग मुझे अभी पूछ लीजिए. देखिए, अगर आप लोग नहीं बताते कि आपको कोई डाउट है तो मैं ये समझ जाऊंगा कि आपको कोई डाउट नहीं है. See, if you don't say that you have doubt, that simply means that you do not have doubts. I have been observing कि आप लोग मुझे reply नहीं कर रहे हैं. If you have any doubt, you can ask me immediately right now. Okay, then, my dear students, let's move forward and understand the next question. Write the IUPAC names of the product. Write the IUPAC name of the product that is obtained by ozonalysis. That are obtained by ozonalysis of number 1, pent 2-ene. The first compound that we want to study is pent 2-ene, my dear students. Let me show you the structure of pent 2-ene, my dear students. We have 5 carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbons. On the second carbon we have double bond, so it becomes 2-ene. So this is how we have CH3, then C. Then see, three valencies of these are satisfied. So we can write CH over here, we can put H over here, and this is what it is, your pent 2-in. When this pent 2-in undergoes the reaction with the ozone, my dear students, you will get CH3, C, then you have H, then you have O, then again you have C, then again you have O and O. And here you have one side H and another side. See, this side if you write H, then the other side you have CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. Now this particular compound undergoes, my dear students, the cleavage. So this is how we can explain the cleavage. This is what it is allowed to react with zinc and H2O. So finally we get the product as the first product, or we can even show them here. We'll add zinc, we'll put H2O, and we will get the first product that we get is CH3, C double bond O and H. And the second product what we are going to get is H, C double bond O, and then we have CH2 and CH3. This particular, let us name these compounds. So this compound is your CH3CHO, which is also known as ethanol. And this compound has 3 carbon, which is known as propanol. This ethanol is also known as acetaldehyde. So I hope, my dear students, it's quite easy for you to understand this reaction. If you have any doubt, you can ask me, or let's move forward and understand the ozonalysis of the second compound, which is 3,4-dimethyl hept 3-in. 3,4-dimethyl hept 3-in. This is the compound that we want to study. So let us first write the structure of this. You can see that here we have hept. Hept shows that we have 7 carbons, my dear students. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 carbons that we have. On third carbon we have in, so we can put double bond here between the third and fourth carbon. On third and fourth carbon you have even methyl group. So on this carbon you have methyl group. This is the third carbon. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. On third carbon you have methyl group. On fourth carbon you have methyl group. These are CH3, CH2. Then you can see that 1, 2, 3, and 4, all the valencies of this carbon and this carbon have been satisfied. CH2, CH2, and CH3. This is your compound known as 3,4-dimethyl hept 3-in. Now, my dear students, you add ozone to it. So when you add ozone to it, my dear students, what happens? Here you can see there is double bond. This double bond adds up the 3 oxygen molecules and gives us the ozonide. And what is left here, let us see. On one side of this carbon, dear students, on one side of this carbon, we have CH3. So what first we'll put CH3. On the other side, we have CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. Here, even in the fourth number carbon, you can see on one side you have CH3, and on the other side you have CH2, CH2, CH3. That is what we write, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is ozonide compound. This ozonide undergoes the cleavage in this form. And you can expect the double bond over here. So finally what you get, my dear student, is this, that you have Zn plus you have H2O. Due to this, what happens, dear student, please mind well that you get the first compound, that is CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. The first one compound that you are going to get is CH3, CH2, C double bond O, and CH3, plus what you get next is CH3, CH2, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. So you get CH3, CH2, CH2, then you have C double bond O, and then you have CH3. Now when we give name to this compound, my dear students, we can give numbering this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The functional group should get the least number. So 4 carbon, that is butane. On second carbon, that is carbonyl group. So it is 2-butanone. And on this compound we have 5 carbons. On second carbon we have a carbonyl group, and thus, my dear students, this is what it is known as the 2-pentanone. 2-pentanone. So this is how, my dear students, we have 2-butanone and 2-pentanone get as a product. I hope, my dear students, you have understood it. Dear students, please speak if you have understood it loudly so that I can realize that you have understood
Yes,
it.
sir, no doubt.
Very good. So let's move forward and understand the next problem. We have 2-ethyl but 1-in ozonalysis of 2-ethyl but 1-in 2-ethyl but 1-in. This is how we should write. So let us first write the structure of 2-ethyl but 1-in. You can see that it is but, that means we have 4 carbons. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbon. On the first carbon we have double bond. So we can put double bond here. But 1-in. On the second carbon we have ethyl group. So let us first give number 1, 2, 3 and 4. On the second carbon, my dear students, you have ethyl group. So that is your CH2, CH3, which can also be written as a C2H5. And now you have CH2, double bond C, then C is CH2 and CH3. This is your 2-ethyl but 1-in. This compound is known as 2-ethyl but 1-in. When this compound undergoes the reaction with ozone, dear students, it gives us the ozonide. Now you can see that both this carbon, which is doubly bonded, has got hydrogen both the side. So you can see, then you have the ozonide with you, my dear students. It's quite simple for you to understand. And then, my dear students, you have you can see that this carbon has got both the sides CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. So here you get ozonide. This ozonide again undergoes the cleavage. So we can expect the products in this manner. When it undergoes the reaction with zinc and water, my dear students, we get the various products as HC double bond OH. This is what it is known as methanol. It is also known as formaldehyde. And then we have the next compound, that is CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH2, CH3. It has got 5 carbons, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it is pentanol. But on third carbon we have carbonyl group. So we call it as a 3-pentanone. 3-pentanone. So this is how, my dear students, it's quite easy for us to understand the ozonalysis of the various compounds. If you could not understand anything, you can ask me, my dear students, or we can move to the next question.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
Yes, sir, no doubt.
Let us move forward for the ozonalysis of 1-phenyl but 1-in. 1-phenyl but 1-in, my dear students. Here we have this compound. I just want to write the structure of this compound. You can see here that in the 1-phenyl but 1-in, we have the longest chain of but. So we have 4 carbon, 1, 2, 3 and 4. On the first carbon we have phenyl group. This phenyl group is C6H5, my dear students, or we can even represent it as a benzene ring. So we can have this benzene ring, or we can, instead of this, we can even write C6H5, 1-phenyl but 1-in. So on the first carbon only we have double bond. So you can see that the first carbon, this is first, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. On first carbon, 3 valencies have been satisfied. So the fourth valency we will satisfy with hydrogen. This carbon has got its 3 valencies satisfied. So one side we will have H, then we have CH2, and finally CH3. This is 1-phenyl but 1-in, 1-phenyl but 1-in. This compound, when undergoes the ozonalysis, my dear students, we get ozonide. What kind of ozonide are we going to get? Let us see. See, first you have H, then you have this carbon that is doubly bonded, then you have a phenyl ring over here, which is bonded to the carbon in this manner. Then again this carbon, this is what I'm talking about, second carbon has got one hydrogen and it has got CH2 and CH3. This is how, my dear students, we can understand. Now, my dear students, we are going to study the breakage of or cleavage of this ozonide. This ozonide, when it undergoes the cleavage, we will get a benzene ring. On this benzene ring, we have C double bond O and H. We can even write the same compound as a benzene ring and CHO. This is what, my dear students, we call it as a benzaldehyde. So we call it as a benzaldehyde. So the first product that we get is benzaldehyde. Now we are going to study the second product. You can see that first carbon, second carbon, third carbon. So we'll write CH3, CH2. On the third carbon, we will get the double bond, and then we have H. This is what it is, having the 3 carbon, 1, 2, sorry, the numbering should be given this manner, 1, 2 and 3. So it's a propane and it is known as the propanol. So this is how it's very easy for us, my dear students, to answer such questions. Let us move forward and understand little more. I have a question. Let me read the question for you, or let me write the question. An alkane A, sorry, an alkene A on ozonalysis, an alkene A on ozonalysis gives a mixture of ethanol, gives a mixture of ethanol and pentane 3 on, ethanol and pentane 3 on. Write the structure and IUPAC name of A. Write the structure and IUPAC name of A. So what we understand here, let us try to understand the question first. You know this compound A undergoes or reacts with ozone and gives us one ozonide. This ozonide, when it undergoes, so it gives us ozonide. This ozonide, when it reacts with Zn and H2O, it gives two products. What are these two products, my dear students? It gives us pentane 3-on and ethanol. It gives us ethanol, it gives us pentane 3-on. So let me write the structure of these products, my dear students, so that you can understand it better. Let me first write pentane 3-on. So pentane 3-on is CH3, CH2, C. Then it has got double bond O. Then again it has got CH2 and CH3. So this is your pentane 3-on, my dear students. Then you have ethanol. Your ethanol has got two carbons. So you have CH3, C, double bond O and H. So these are the two products that we get, my dear students. These two are the products. When these two products are obtained, my dear students, we can easily identify the ozonide. So what kind of ozonide it may be? Let us see that you can first show this carbon over here. So this is your carbon. Then you have this carbon. We will bring it here. This is the second carbon. Now you can see that this double bond O is because of this O bond. This double bond O is because of this bond that we get ozonide. You can see the oxygen is bonded to it. And on this carbon, we have CH3 group and H bonded to it. On the other carbon, we have CH2, CH3 and CH2, CH3 bonded to it. So this is the kind of ozonide that we are going to get. From this, my dear students, we can write the structure of A. So what is the structure of A, my dear students? The structure of A should be CH3. This is the first carbon. Let me show you. This is the first carbon. This is second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and this is the branch. So we can write it this way, CH3. Then you have CH, this CH I am talking about. Then, my dear students, there is double bond. Then C, this C has got the branch, CH2, CH3. And again you have CH2, CH3. So this is the compound which is your A. Now what could be the name of this compound? We can easily identify that 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We do not do numbering from this side because the double bond carbon should get the least number, and that is what it is possible by the numbering in this manner. So it is pentene, 2-pentene, which has got ethyl group on third carbon. So we can write it as a 3-ethyl pent 2-ene. This is how we can write the name of the compound. It is 3-ethyl pent 2-ene, and the IUPAC name of A is nothing but it is 3-ethyl pent 2-ene. So my dear students, it's quite easy for you even to understand this problem. We will discuss one or two more problem into the next period. But if you have any doubt, you can ask me right now, or you can move to the next class if you have.
No,
Do you have any doubt, my dear students?
no doubts, sir.
No doubt,
No, sir.
sir.
Okay then. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the class. Wish you happy learning.